Hello, and welcome to the Old Farm Bus Podcast. This is the back of the bus session.
Hello, and welcome to the Old Farm Bus Back of the Bus Sessions podcast. Today's guest, I've got a beauty for you. She's a stunning person. I've only just met her, so I'm looking forward to diving straight in. Karrie Hammersley.
Yep.
I did it! I thought I was going to mess that up. I'm saying pole fitness, but is it pole fitness?
It's pole fitness, it's pole dance, it's
what is your business? If I looked on a piece of paper, what would it be saying?
So my business is Karries, pole and aerial.
Awesome.
Because we do aerial arts as well,
So welcome to the bus.
Thank you. It's awesome and not tall people friendly.
Buses never were though back in day, were they?
True.
Yeah.
True.
Karrie, before we do this, I do these podcasts and I get people to give me 5 things, interesting facts about themselves. So I give that question to you.
Yeah.
And you asked your mates on Facebook, and I've got a few little words they like to say about you.
Yeah.
Are you ready for these?
Go on then.
I've got determined, strong, successful, inspirational, feisty, bitey, and a family woman. So, like, looking through that, because that wasn't just a few, that was like kept coming up. It was consistent.
Yeah, it was really
What do you think to that? What would you say that reflects quite strongly in who you are as a person and your character?
Yeah, definitely. I'm always determined with stuff. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it. But it's really, it can be quite hard to answer these things yourself. Like, I don't want to be like, yeah, I'm this, I'm that, you know. Like,
you should see me raw.
It feels a bit strange. So, yeah, it was, I'm quite glad I did it, actually, because sometimes you don't always feel that great about yourself. And then to hear things like that, it's like, wow.
It's quite affirming, isn't it?
Overwhelming, yeah.
And the closest people to you.
Yeah.
Because I was told multiple times to interview you from my
Really?
partner for one, but like loads of people from the gym. I was like, do you know any interesting, inspiring people? And I was looking for females because I've not had enough on the bus.
Yeah.
And your name just kept coming back. It was like,
cool.
Karrie. She's awesome. She'll just like be quite electric. So have you grown up in Ripley?
No, I'm from Belper.
Belper, born and bred.
Belper, born and bred. Strong in arm, thick in head.
I was going into the Will Smith song then. Now, this is a story all about how.
Yeah, so, I mean, my pole business really started in Ripley. I used to work at a salon in Ripley because I was a beautician before I was, like, doing pole stuff as a profession.
I can tell.
But I am a product of Ripley.
Yeah.
You could say.
You've been a few Regal boppings in your time.
Well, no, my parents met at the Regal.
Oh, dive in.
Yeah.
What a romantic story. I bet they've really like opened up on that one with you, haven't they?
I mean, I don't really want to know too much, but this is what happens when you make things at the Regal.
There was a fight in the corner.
Yeah.
They were doing drugs over there, and then we just saw eye to eye. Love at first sight after a visit to the bathroom. Not sexually, I meant cocaine. So, where did you go to school?
Belper.
Belper School.
Yeah.
And I've just met you today.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying your energy. Like, you're quite a big character. Let's see a word up. Feisty.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm guessing you get that a lot. And maybe even males could be feel a bit dominated by that or domineered, which is I think is a great thing. And it should catch them off, and I like that. Like, were you like that at school? Was that a part of you?
To be fair, I have always been feisty. And then you combine that with years of pole training and becoming actually strong. So I quite like being the boss.
That's ace. Did you get in trouble a lot at school?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I was a knobhead.
Did you make your way through it, though?
Yeah, I made my way through it. It was okay.
Were you back of the sheds having a smoke and that? Or?
Yeah. Yeah, I was damp benches. Damp benches smoking. And
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
34.
Wow, I thought you were my age. I'm 27.
Oh, okay.
I thought you
To be fair.
Side note, guys, if you want to win them over, take notes.
Well, Christina, like I forget that she's a little bit older than me.
Yeah,
she
10
said,
years older than me.
Oh, I'm near, not far off 40. I'm like, oh shit, yeah. I forgot.
I'm very, very lucky.
Yeah.
She's blessed.
She looks good.
Amazing person as well. So,
yeah.
When you were at school, were you just dancing, moving, throwing your arms about, doing all that sort of business, or did this come later on in life?
No, this was later on. I went to my first pole class when I was like 24.
Wow.
Never done dance in my life.
So, what did you have passions at school though? Were you driven?
Drinking cider on the pub.
Yes, going to raves.
Yeah, I went to my first rave when I was like 16.
What was that experience?
It was interesting actually. There was a New Year's Eve thing on, and I think I was in sixth form at the time. Anyway, turned round, and there was this couple on the floor. Doing it on the dance floor. And
on the dance floor?
Yeah, she was wearing a denim bikini, New Year's Eve in England.
Right.
And it was just bizarre. That opened my eyes to
Where was
life.
this rave?
Milton Keynes Sanctuary.
Were you in with the underground rave? Were you following them then and going around and trying?
Yeah. got a group of mates and
new areas.
Started going out to like different nightclubs and stuff.
Did you go to any in Sheffield by any chance?
Oh,
it's got quite a scene up there.
Is it? What was it? It was a hard house thing.
Off me not.
Like the Tidy Boys, or I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what the place was called. My friends will be shouting at me saying,
yeah.
But that was.
You were on it that night, I'm guessing.
Grimy.
The reason you can't remember.
There was all this stuff dripping off the ceiling.
Yeah.
It was gross.
I remember because I loved raving. It was such a big time of mine. Probably 17 I went travelling, so I went straight from school to like Australia.
Yeah.
Cool. Come back, went away again, but then the second time I came back, I discovered fun times and all that business. But I'd be going to Sheffield, Nottingham, and they all felt a little bit out there, but pretty safe. I remember I went to Sheffield once though, like to an outdoor rave.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not comfortable. It was edgy, and
some places aren't very nice, are they?
Yeah, especially when it's not being monitored at all and there's no order. I don't want necessarily the police there, but just some geezer that knows what he's doing.
You just want to go and have a dance, don't you? It's just I love the music, and
I love feeling tribal and out there.
Yeah, with a group of mates dancing around, having a nice time. Like, there's nothing better.
All the experiences that come along with the journey.
2020 is completely like taken that away. Do you know what I mean?
Oh mate, don't get me started. But I remember on that one in Sheffield, it got to about 5 o'clock, and it was a feeling a good vibe, good energy. But suddenly, I think somebody pulled a knife out.
Oh no!
And we were like, oh, here we go, and everything, my whole aura and everything just changed. I was like, I'm not about this. So that stopped me going to raves a little bit.
It's just not necessary, is it?
The possibility of something like that kicking off.
Yeah.
But like we've connected, like it's the streets and music like that now I'm into.
Yeah.
So you were predominantly like at school, then going to raves, having fun. So was your life more about socialising?
Yeah, and I did a year of sixth form, and then I went to do beauty therapy at beauty college. Did that, and then
they did a beauty college.
Started,
a whole college designed for beauty.
A whole college.
How was that experience?
It was good. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing it, learning stuff about the body. I'm quite interested in like the science behind it as well. So that's kind of nice, and learning to do massage therapy. So I qualified, worked at a few places, a few salons, a few spas, and then I went to work on a cruise ship when I was 19.
19? So you've done all this by 19?
Yeah.
Because what I'm diving into is like to become a business owner and somebody that's self-sufficient and does all their own things. You've got to build a certain personality about you and a certain set of characteristics.
Yeah.
I was wondering, did school give you that? Or was this brought from family, from friendships, from becoming that person you become?
I think obviously life experience is helpful. I did a bit of business studies when I was in sixth form. So I've sort of been interested in business side of stuff, but not really. I didn't really know where I wanted to go with it. School to be honest, school, what it did for me was give me a great bunch of friends.
Yeah.
To be honest.
So maybe even like built your confidence up.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
you're in different circles. And I think that's where we're struggling at the minute. People are trying to pass tests, like obsolete tests.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the principles we need to be focusing on is like confidence and character building and how to have communicational skills, these sort of things. Because you seem to have mastered that, but I suppose that's just come from having a business over time, socialising and having these things together.
Yeah.
It's integral to go through that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on your character as well, to be fair. Like, I've never been a quiet I wasn't a quiet child.
Really?
Like, I wasn't, a nightmare or anything.
I'm here.
One might disagree. But yeah, I've always been fairly a sociable person.
Yeah.
But I think for obviously somebody who is not naturally like that, that can be harder. But I think it does need to, like, I think schools are doing so much better at building confidence in people.
With the teaching with the right principles now. They're individuals and you've got to cater for each individual rather than just hurdle on through the same objective.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, James, my little boy, is in year 1 at Hege School and they do a great job with him. He's come out of his shell a lot because last Christmas he got diagnosed with autism.
Okay.
And he didn't really speak very long, like... took him quite a long time to kind of start talking and stringing sentences together. And this his first year at school really, I think he found it a little bit difficult, but he wouldn't say. But now going into this second year, his confidence is just
seen
gone
him
right
shape
through the
himself.
roof. Started taking him to kickboxing just before
good
lockdown,
lad.
and then obviously that stopped again. But the first week, the guy gave him a medal. And he took it to school the next day. He wouldn't take it off.
That's
and all the
so
kids were like
sweet. It
asking
meant so
about
much
it.
to
And
him.
it was so great because we've tried some activities with him where he's just like, no, don't like it. Some people advertise that they're good at equality and diversity, but they're not. And it frustrates me when people advertise that that's what they say they do.
Yeah, I get ya.
Do you know what I mean? But this guy isn't doing it. He's just like, yeah, kids, come along, and gives everyone time
is good.
Communication and just encouragement.
It seems like he's got a great mentor in his life though as well, coming from home. Some like a passionate person there to say like, come on, we can always do this, look at mum, like look what I'm doing. Let's go into the cruise ships then.
Yeah.
Like, what's that world like? I've never imagined going on a cruise ship holiday, but is it just everyday Paradise City?
No. No, not at all. No. I mean, what they do when you go and work in a spa on a cruise ship is they train you up in Watford at a place where you spend about 6 to 8 weeks training you up on all their products and all the rest of it. So you get trained up in everything.
Right.
And you don't know what you're doing until you get on the cruise ship.
Oh, really?
So you get on the cruise ship and you are stuck doing that same thing every day, day in, day out.
You'll be doing your speciality though. You won't be doing like waitressing or anything.
No. Like what treatment you're doing. So you could be doing facials or nails or massages. And I got stuck doing massages, deep tissue massages and hot stones massages for 12 hours a day, 5.5 days a week.
So not ideal.
No. It's not what you think it is. Good. I'm glad I did it, but it's not what you think.
Was it one of these like really posh cruises?
Yeah.
Where like
like,
millionaires are going on to? Yeah. Elements of imposter. Did you get to have like days off though? And you got to...
Yeah, so you got like a day and a half off a week.
From what you're doing.
So yeah, I did get to see some places that I would never have seen otherwise. So that was cool.
What were your hours?
8 till 8. Yeah.
That's big, yeah.
8 till 8.
Okay.
Yeah, massaging. As you can imagine, deep tissue massage is quite tiring on your fingers and your arms and your wrists.
But you're there at... for how long are you on the sea, in the sea for?
So I was away for like 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I didn't... Most people's contract is either 6 or 9 months.
Right.
But I ended up getting dermatitis on my arms from the massage oils.
Overdoing
they were
it?
heavily like fragranced and they wanted to give me steroids injections, and I'm like, no.
I've got dermatitis. Can I not have something else going into my system I don't need?
Yeah. Perhaps what I'm doing, what job I'm doing.
Right.
Anyway, so I came home after that.
And you were there, though, at 19.
Yeah.
So was it party time at night when you finished at 8? Were you just knackered? Did you just go straight to your...
No, we went to the bar.
You went to the bar.
Of course we went. What else is she going to do? Sit in this room the size of a shoebox or go to the crew bar?
Is that what your room was like?
Yeah.
Oh, no luxuries in there.
You know, like on the Titanic where they go below deck and it's like all the peasants.
Yeah.
We were like that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's grim.
Get out of the way, peasant.
Get out of the way. Don't show up upstairs unless you've got a ball gown on.
Oh, God. Were you treated like that by the clientele and the people coming on as well?
Nah, it's not too bad. We were a concession, so it wasn't as much like that, but... some of the hotel staff, the waitressing staff, usually from the Philippines, they were a little bit more shoved away, which I found. What made me a little bit cross was that we got 7.5% of every treatment we did, and we got tips, etc., etc. If there was a Filipino person, man, woman, coming. They had to come to London to train just like we did, and they would come on the ship just like we did, and they'd be doing exactly the same treatment. They got 3.5%.
What?
Because their agency would take the other half.
Oh, no. Slave labour exists.
Yeah, it does. It's sad, really.
That's wrong.
Yeah,
completely
I think it's wrong.
Doing everything the exact same.
You're doing the same job, given the same money. That's just not...
I mean, we get it around here now when you do more than somebody for a business. I've worked for like loads of shitty jobs I hate, like especially Thornton's. And you're just looking at this guy with a tie on, monitoring and looking around, sneering at you, telling you how to do it.
Yeah.
And you're getting pittance for it.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a job like that? Have you done anything?
Yeah, I worked at Abru at the ladder factory in Belper.
A ladder factory?
Yeah. It's shut down now.
Really?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Making ladders.
Why didn't I put 2 and 2 together?
What were you doing?
I made 6. You wouldn't believe it. The most amazing boxes came from this place. Okay. And were you treated, though, with dignity and respect there, or did you feel not?
I mean, it wasn't too bad. I've been treated worse in salons.
Apart from pole fitness, would you say the cruise ship's your favourite other job that you've done or place that you've been on?
No.
Really?
No.
So, but you still got to travel around, went to other countries. Yeah. Where would you have gone to?
Where did I go?
Yeah, where?
Well,
where
it wasn't that
landing?
exciting or exotic, really, to be honest, because we were going around Europe
Cornwall.
for the first part, Ireland. So we're going all around the Mediterranean, which was nice. We got to go to Egypt. I had a day off in Egypt, Alexandria. And then we did the Baltic cruises.
Oh, nice.
So,
okay.
Not great for a tan. But it was like,
We've
like
got machines for that now. What's your problem?
Yeah.
You don't need that thing in the sky.
Obviously like Russia and Sweden, Denmark, all that sort of area. But again, it was interesting because I would never have seen all of those places.
There's a lot of culture inside these places, isn't there?
Yeah.
Even though there's no sun, like you still get a lot of the history behind it.
Yeah.
Was Egypt quite intense when you were there?
Yeah, because I was on my own, because I'd not long gone on the cruise ship, so people had already, on the days off, booked excursions to go and see the pyramids and all that.
Yeah.
But I hadn't, so I just stepped off the cruise ship on my own.
Where do I go now?
Where's a taxi? All right, take me to some places. How much is it? I don't know what this money means.
Oh, no.
Just went around for the day, and he just pointed at some stuff, so we got out and had a walk around, and obviously... The culture there, everybody covers up, but I'm there in shorts and a vest top. White woman on her own.
Did they say anything to you? Would they?
No, but I got some funny looks.
Yeah.
But me being 19, it's like, it's all right, isn't
it? You still get them looks in Ripley anyway.
Well, yeah.
If you're younger than 30, they look at you in a bit of a way.
Yeah.
So a bit of an older population Ripley sometimes. I go for a little Ripley safari, I call it. So I'm just driving around seeing what's going on for the day.
Yeah.
Keep doing that loop. Do you know, where you go past the Foundry Gym
Yes.
round there, and I sometimes just keep circling and just seeing what it's about. I love people watching, wasting petrol.
Good old Rippo.
So you come back from cruise ships.
Yep.
You're a changed woman then, I'm presuming.
I was a little bit heavier.
Was it all you can eat buffets every day?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. And beer every night.
Oh, yes.
Beer. I used to be a massive lager drinker then.
Still?
Not so much. Not really.
I got taught after South Africa, I come back really ill, and the only thing they eat in South Africa is meat and a thing called pap. And this pap is like basically condensed gluten.
Right.
So I was just forking that down every night, and I was getting really ill to the point of like all my skin would rash up, really bad bloating.
Yeah.
Felt sick every day. So I came home for a week, got tested, and I found out I was celiac. So
you were living on that?
I know, I was just living on that. I was close to really affecting myself. But my beer days were over after that.
Yeah.
Gin and tonics with a little straw in now.
I love gin. Gin and red wine.
All these gin and tonic places are opening up now, aren't they? It's quite nice. You've got
got a nice variety.
Yeah. What's my favourite? A blood orange.
Oh,
have you tried that yet?
Yeah, of course I have.
It's a good one, isn't it?
I've tried all of them.
So how you went to your first pole class then at 24?
Yeah, I think I was 24.
Was that at the Pulse, the gym I go to now?
No, it was in Summercoats.
Oh, okay.
Summercoat, Lee Brooks.
How did you? What happened? A flyer, or somebody told you about it?
So it was in the early days of Facebook, because it was like 10 and a half years ago.
Just after MySpace, then.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never did the MySpace thing. So yeah, my friend put on Facebook, I'd like to go to pole classes. And she'd found this one, and I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. Let's go. And that was it.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that experience like, though, being in your first pole class?
I mean, it was, I didn't really know what to make of it. It was a bit, poles come on a long way in terms of the quality of the teaching and the lessons and stuff. So like now we'll have like 2 people per pole, whereas then there was like 5-6 people on a pole, like sharing a pole, not at the same time, obviously. Okay,
that's what was in my head. I was like, there's like, some arithmetic
you there. You have a go, you do a spin, the next person has a go, so you'd end up standing around for a lot of the time.
And you just watching what the other person's doing then?
Yeah, so like, you get taught, do one of these, and then you have a go, and then the other person has a go, and then goes around like that. But like I say, these days we only have like 2 people per pole.
So let's go into that lesson. Yeah. You're there.
Yeah.
They've given you your first move. Have you gone in all the gear? Like, not much.
There was not much readily available for like pole stuff. So I'd got like these I hadn't even got them. They were just like some standard shorts that you'd buy from Primark and a vest top.
Did you feel comfortable in your body, like with people being around? Were you happy everyone seeing you? Or before that, were you a little bit shy from being seen, being sporty and...
I was okay.
In your gym gear.
Because, I used to do sort of like boxercise and bits and bobs of fitness throughout the years, stuff I'd never really gotten into that much. So I was like, let's give it a go. I was more concerned about what we're going to do. How does it work? Like, what's going to happen? And I was sat there and they were putting these poles up, and I was like, and all these people are sat around, and it is quite nervous because you think, what's going to happen? It's funny, I've never really thought about that because that was a long time ago.
A lot of my friends, particularly female friends that have gone into pole classes, all reflect on having little self-worth beforehand. Like, they don't like their bodies, they didn't like the skin they were in, so they wanted to get into something like pole fitness or like a pole class to express that and just get over that hurdle. Did you meet people like that on the way? Have you met people like that before? Do you think
this makes me really sad? Because why is it, I think I know some of the answers, but why is it that people feel like they aren't worth enough to come into a class and swing around a pole? Obviously, it's the fact that they, need to wear shorts and you need the skin for the grip, and that's why we wear what we wear. But what happens is this beautiful thing happens where you get your newbie in on the first day, and they've got like sort of longish shorts on that are sort of like coming halfway down
sliding
their thighs.
all the way over the place.
They've got a t-shirt, like, they're really, and you see this little progression and it's like a little graph. Like you start here with lots of clothes on and then as time goes on and your skill level goes up, the clothes get smaller. And I'm
presuming that helps you on the pole and like having the least on you can have, you're free, I suppose. Is that I haven't been to a pole class yet. I'm willing. But if I turn up like this, I suspect that
you're
I'm
gonna have problems.
Yeah.
And if you put body moisturiser on, you're gonna have problems.
Okay.
And if you've just put some fake tan on, don't know if you do that, but you're gonna have problems.
Now and then, can you tell?
Yeah.
I'm the whitest guy you're ever gonna meet. Dad's from Birmingham.
Well, no holidays this year. So.
No. Okay, so you don't really reflect as that girl, the newbie girl. When you went there, you had shorts on, but you weren't too fussed to get your kit off, go on and make yourself look a bit silly if you were falling off and whatnot. I didn't have like any big issues, like huge self-confidence issues, because I've always been a reasonably confident person. Sure.
So no, that for me that wasn't an issue. But I see it in other people.
You do see it in other people. Yeah. And in that class, can you feel the confidence getting bigger and bigger and bigger in people? Yeah. So you were just took by it in that first class. Can you remember your tutor's name or who taught you in there?
Yeah, it was Hayley.
Yeah, good friend still?
Well, we don't really speak anymore, to be honest.
Just doing their thing. Is she still going?
She went to Australia for a few years and then came back, and then they run classes up at Mansfield.
Why not, mate?
Exotic Mansfield. So, yeah.
Right, so then 24, first class.
Yeah.
Where does Karrie pole fit come from? Where does all this world get into after 24?
So I was doing it for a couple of years, and then I started helping out with teaching. And then I set up a class.
Saying you were doing it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Was that? Do you have a pole at home? Are you practicing? Is there competitions?
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah.
I was so excited because I'm interviewing you. I've just been watching all your profile and seeing what you're up to, and you've got some badass moves. Like I couldn't even comprehend doing anything you do. Like even just holding the pole and like being on there for 10 seconds, I think I'd have to let go. But the stuff you can do is otherworldly. It's impressive, really cool. So there's 2 years. Are you just taken by pole? Are you doing it every day?
No, not at all. Once or twice a week at that point.
Okay.
It wasn't until I'd like set up my own classes in Ripley and like started doing my own thing that I started doing it a lot more. Like I was doing it 2-3 times a week. I did have a pole at home, but didn't really have much space for it, so it was a bit.
Just flip me back on. There you go.
I had my own pole at home, but it didn't have much space because, like you can imagine, in a normal house there isn't a lot of space usually, unless you've got a nice big house. So
where was it situated?
In the living room. And then when we moved to our house in Kilburn, it was in the spare bedroom. And then I got pregnant and we had a baby, so it had to come out of there. I'm like,
right.
Oh, God. Yeah. Where am I going to put my pole now?
Bloody kids.
Bloody kids. But yeah,
ungrateful.
I think really my sort of pole career has taken off since after I had James.
Okay.
Because you don't realise, I don't think you appreciate your spare time as much as when you have a child. And then the spare time that you have to get everything done.
Make sure you utilise it.
Yeah, use that time because you're too busy.
Yeah.
You're too busy.
And you seem somebody
baby.
very busy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if I'm not busy, I start to lose my mind.
I'm with you, man. I'm absolutely on your vibe.
Yeah.
So were you doing competitions in this time as well, just before you started? Or did the competitions come after?
So... What? How long have competitions been around for?
Have you not done competitions yet?
Yeah, no, I have.
You have?
Yeah.
When did you start? Like, when's your first competition you've gone into?
So my first competition...
And did you win?
When was it? 2016. So James was 11 months old at the time that I did my first competition. And it's quite tricky because when you're an instructor, there's different, obviously, categories of levels. Mm-hmm. When you're an instructor, you're automatically in semi-pro or pro.
This is so cool.
Right. So
I'm talking to a pro. I am.
I've gone into this competition. I only entered it 3 weeks before, which, looking back, that was fucking crazy. Like,
who were you up against? What sort of things were they doing?
I mean,
what are your marks for?
It was a smaller, more friendly competition. It wasn't a big one. So yeah, it was quite a nice atmosphere. I think there were like 6 people in it, and I come out with 3rd place.
That's brilliant.
Which isn't bad for your first
really
competition.
Good.
And never danced ever in my life. Like, I used to learn pole tricks when I first started training pole. It was like, do a trick, get off the pole, do a trick, get off the pole. And then all of a sudden, this linking moves together and going from static pole to spinning pole, and then making it a whole piece as a song and actually performing to it. Oh, yeah, it's a lot of work. It's quite stressful.
I love just learning about people's passions.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, hearing the sides of it? Because pole in particular is something I'm so alien to. I've never, as you probably can tell.
There's a whole world out there.
I've never met really a professional pole dancer, let's say.
Yeah.
But anyone explaining to me the ins and outs of it, I just go around to friends' house and like, oh, you got a pole, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, that's about the conversation we have.
Yeah.
But you're telling me there's different types of pole, there's different types of competition.
Yeah, there's loads, there's hundreds. So when I say static and spinning pole, you can set the pole to be static, because obviously it doesn't move.
Yeah.
Or you can flick a setting on it and
it goes with
the pole
you.
spins. So when you do a competition, usually it would be on
that.
2 poles. So like, one would be static, one would be spin, and you do different types of tricks on different poles. Do you know what I mean? So then
it
it
makes
makes
total
it
sense.
Varied, and it makes it interesting.
Which pole has more possibility? What can you do more on, or is it just different things?
That's a tricky question. When I first started pole, for the first probably 2-3 years, I never did spin pole. I didn't know what.
That would confuse me. If I'm spinning with the pole, I'd repelling against it.
Yeah, so
I want to go this way.
It's a whole new skill, and I basically had to teach that to myself, because I was kind of never taught the spin pole side of it. So now I understand it really well, and it's my favourite, and I actually think it makes a lot of stuff easier. But for someone who gets genuinely travel sick, they do find it really hard to deal with, and some students have taken travel sick tablets if they know they're going to be doing spinning. So yeah, it can knock you out. I think you could possibly do more on static pole, because you can do a static rotation where you would move your body around the pole and kind of make it look like it was on spin.
Okay.
And you can do more flips and stuff.
Oh, they're my favourite bits. When I'm watching that, if I was at a competition just as an audience member, they're the bits I'll get up and applaud.
Did you see my fail video?
I did. Was it painful? Because you didn't make it look painful at all.
No, I was fine. I was just
Promise.
laughing. I know, honestly, genuinely, absolutely fine. I like to post a good fail now and again. It's funny.
I want to know how you taught yourself as well then. How does one... Was it YouTube tutorials? Was it asking people, or was it literally just going in blind and experimenting?
A lot of going in blind, and then also going to pole workshops. So when we're in a normal non-COVID world, there's lots of workshops happening all around the country, from like famous polers. So people that have won a lot of competitions that are quite well known.
You're doing their workshops.
So yeah, that's somebody. Sometimes we host the workshops, and it's usually around about £40 to learn for an hour and a half with a famous poler. But I've learned a lot. I just threw myself right in to doing loads and loads of workshops and just learning, because I like learning.
What's the pole community like then?
It's like 90% good.
Okay, yeah. So it can be clicky.
There's some clickiness. There's some bitchiness, but I've met the amount of people that I've met, and I've got a whole bunch of new friends that are just pole friends, like, and I can go to them and talk about a certain thing, or we can ask each other for advice. In the lockdown, we were doing online jams. So like, you just you just get fed up, don't you? Just sometimes training on your own, it's never as much fun. But we got on the laptop like last June, May or June, and was like, right, I want to know how to get into this. I was like, shall we do a video call? And then it ended up being like about 8 of us, and then we've ended up doing these jams when we reopened, and there's like 10, 12 people all learning off each other from up and down the country. Like I hosted like 2 or 3 instructor jams, and like everyone came to my studio, and it was really cool.
What's it like in a session? What's everyone like? Do you teach each person differently, or do you show them a move and then say, go and try this?
So I do it a bit differently now to how I used to. So now what we do is we separate it into levels. So you've got basically lower level and higher level. The beginner will go to a lower level, like 1 to 3. And then, we'd all do a warm-up. I'd show them some moves. I'd give them a variation.
Is the warm-up on the pole, or do you get them to leg it around? And
off the pole, but then we'll do some evil conditioning exercises.
Oh, no.
Well, for the more advanced girls. Yeah, so that's funny, because...
You're a bit of a beast.
They know, when they get to know me, and when they've been coming for a while, when I go, so guys, we're going to do this, and I giggle, they're like, oh fuck, what's she going to make us do?
Have you got that rep? Is that what you're about?
Yeah, I'm boss lady.
Do they like that though? Can you tell?
Yeah, some do. I mean, everybody likes different learning styles. My instructors, they're all awesome. They're all, they all teach differently. Some are more like flowy and dancey, or more like static combos. I'm the beast, and I'm going to make you put it on spin pole. And I know you don't like it, but you're going to do it because I said so.
Push you through your paces.
So yeah.
And then do you get a bit of music on, and then there's a nice atmosphere there?
Yeah,
so have you created a bit of a community of people?
Massively. Yeah. There's loads of our students that are all like friends with each other now. It's really cool.
It is a nice environment.
Yeah, and everybody eggs each other on, and I think this is where people get confused, or they get, a certain image in the head from what a pole class is going to be like. Maybe some pole studios are a bit bitchy. I don't know. It's not my problem. But if somebody comes to our place and they've got a bitchy vibe, they won't stay.
Have you had that before?
I've had one or two people come, and they've come from another studio, and they've been a bit weird. And I'm like,
what would that
really sure
consist of? Like, they come and they're sort of looking at people in a bit of a condescending way, like, oh, I can do a better pole than you, sort of that attitude.
And that's not what we're about. It's not.
I can tell. Just meeting you and having a conversation before, talking to Chrissy, I'm like, you're a good heart. There's not going to be meanies inside your class, is there?
Absolutely not.
I can feel that.
Absolutely not.
And straight away, if you saw it happening, I feel you'd be able to go and scout it out and stop it straight away.
The end.
Yeah. Fantastic tutor, mentor though.
Stop being a knob.
Yeah. It's the golden rule in it. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, just be anything. Just be a cunt.
Yeah. There's a few out there though.
There are a few, trust me. So then they support each other, and people might think they might come in and have this kind of look at her, she did that wrong. But no, it's like, come on mate, let's do it again. Right,
laughing
put your hand there
with each other.
Yeah, like that's how it is in our place.
And giving them feedback and helping each other out doing it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It sounds
all
like
socially distanced, of course.
Yeah. Sounds like you've got a true friendship going on there with everybody.
Yeah. Family.
And it is when you've got a passion and other people are experiencing that with you, it's the easiest place to make them, isn't it, happen?
Yeah, I mean, starting back, we used to do mostly mixed ability classes, so sometimes we'd go around and teach each people on each pole and separate them into levels, and now it's a lot easier. And the beginners that started, when we reopened in July, they're just seeing them all go through and come on and turn up with not very much confidence, and now they're like, yeah, I want to get it. And one of my mates just started coming, and she's just so determined.
It must be the best
and I love
feeling.
it, and it's buzzing, and you just get this really happy vibe of
Is
people.
that where you get the best feeling? Is it watching others progress and do really well?
Yeah.
Rather than you getting the right moves or whatever, it's seeing others excel.
Yeah, no, I mean it's nice when I learn something new, but it's not like no, that's not what it's about. Like me learning from my instructor friends, that's cool. They could teach me something and I could teach them something, and it's like you just swap skills.
Felt the same in like either poetry when I was doing my poetry, making music, or even boxing. Similar thing. Like I loved it for myself, but it's quite a lot of pressure on your own journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Constantly like just trying to excel and show everybody who's the daddy.
Yeah.
But,
and you know, some people are like that. But
I've had that element to me. Part of my psyche was that. But going in later on, maybe 3-4 years down the line, I started going into schools and teaching poetry and creative writing workshops.
Oh, cool.
But seeing the kids write their first poem,
oh
man, it gives me like, I wished I had hairs on my arm. I shave my arms. But it makes them stand up when they're there.
Yeah.
It really is the best feeling. Same with boxing at Gym Fit.
Yeah.
I go and just do my own workouts.
Yeah.
But I've playing football daftly. I've ruptured my ACL and all my tendons have gone. But I go and take pads at the gym now, just for people who want to do a bit of boxing. And just seeing their enjoyment in that, oh man, there's no great feeling, is there?
Yeah, it's cool. It's nice.
Let's talk then about you've been on a cruise ship.
Yep.
You've done shitty jobs that you hate. You're making ladders at one stage. So we've got you know, partying at night, making ladders in the day. You've got to start your own business at some point then. Like you've got your pole fitness. What were the steps you took and how's the journey been and how is it now?
To be fair...
Quite a filled question.
Right, so... The ladder thing was when I was in sixth form, so it was just a twilight job, so it wasn't my full-time job, it was just a bit of cash. Then it was the beauty college, the cruise ship. Then it was, after the cruise ship, I went pretty much straight into being self-employed at that point.
Really?
Yeah, within a hairdresser's in Ripley.
Did you just know that you didn't want to work underneath someone or for somebody?
I'm quite a, I don't like being told what to do.
I was going to say, like, you strike me as very much like me. I was kicked out of Mill in the end, like, told not to come back, but it's because I just couldn't conform. I'm not nasty. I'm not a horrible person.
Yeah.
But I just hate it when they feel like they can display this dominance over you all the time, powership. You're just like, I'm not about that.
Yeah, so I went to be self-employed. I didn't make much money out of it. I went to work during that time, I went to get my teaching degree.
Cool. I could see you as a teacher.
It was through Sheffield Hallam Uni, but it was like a part-time course because I could work and do it at the same time. And then I taught at beauty college, at the beauty college I used to go to when I was like 24. And then you asked me what my favourite job was.
Yeah.
So I did like just over a year at the college. And then I was chatting to somebody who came in for the nails, and she was like, oh, well, there's teaching jobs going at where I'm teaching. And she was a hairdressing teacher at Foston Hall Women's Prison.
Okay, yeah, I know Foston Hall.
Yeah, so she was like, yeah, they're looking for a teacher. So I was like, oh, cool. So it took months and months to get in with all the security
So you're going
checks.
to a prison with
I used to
sharp
teach.
Objects.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds like nothing could ever go wrong at all.
But loved it. Absolutely loved
Really?
it. Yeah, it was cool. The ladies that I taught were all really interested in learning, the beauty stuff. I'm sure the hairdressing as well.
Were you allowed to keep in touch with any of them after?
No.
No, it was strictly a professional.
Yeah.
encounter.
You have. There's a lot of rules and stuff. Very, very small classes. Like you'd only have sort of 4 or 5 people in a classroom.
Yeah, tangible.
So that was one of my favourite jobs. But unfortunately, I was like a sessional 0 hours contract person, and then they cut the funding, and then you're out.
Does it?
Yeah. And at that point, I'd started pole classes. I wasn't teaching at that point, just learning. So it's kind of like gone through. And then, Karrie's Pole Fit has been around since March 2014.
Amazing.
And then 6 months after that, I got pregnant.
Were you still pole dancing pregnant?
Yeah.
How far did you get up to through your pregnancy? The end? Were you doing it at the very, very end?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to keep fit, haven't you?
James was 10 days late. I think the last picture of me upside down was at 39 weeks and 2 days.
I'd love to know what it felt like in that little bump. Mum, I got seasickness.
And then with Emily, I had a C-section with her just after 39 weeks. So that was, I was polling up until 38 weeks last time.
Did it get hard? Like, because
Yeah.
you've got to stay close to that pole, haven't you?
Well, you naturally put weight on here, but you put weight on in other places as well, naturally. And, you're tired.
Yeah.
Chrissy's just been through all of this. You're tired, but, it's still there. And I get very frustrated when I lose something. It's like if you injure yourself and you can't pole for a bit. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I didn't hate being pregnant. I had easy pregnancies.
Did you get any backlash from people? I know you're somebody that wouldn't do what people say, but
not to my face.
Yeah. You shouldn't be doing that. Why are you doing that? Just go home and sit down.
You know what? The midwife knew absolutely everything. She was quite into fitness, or is quite into fitness herself, and goes to gym and stuff. So I had the same midwife through both pregnancies, and she's like, just be careful. But I was fit and healthy. There was nothing wrong with me.
You know what you're capable of on a pole.
Yeah, of course. So and I'd never do anything to put
I was going to say, if you're at the very top and...
No, that'd be stupid.
Yeah. That's all it is people just need to be given the opportunity to show that they can, what would you say?
Use their own brain?
Yeah, there you go. People aren't given that nowadays. We're told how to be, how to act. And it's
especially this year.
Yeah. But you should be able to make your own informed decisions.
Yeah,
your own
absolutely.
Trust in yourself.
Yeah, and you can. And, we're adults. You can do what you want. Again, just don't be a knobhead.
That feels like what this podcast's going to keep coming back to.
Yeah.
The golden rule. Are you a dick? Stop it.
Unless you're being a nice dick and you're just being silly.
Yeah, there you go. You can be a daft dick. Everyone can be a daft dick now and then.
Yeah.
So what's life in the parenting world like for you then? Are they coming to your sessions? Are they seeing what you're up to? Being a mum?
No. Well, yes and no. When we did up the studio and we got the flooring in, we took them both there, and they absolutely loved it because it's this great big wide open space. Obviously, Emily's only 17 months old, so she's too young to do anything like that. James, I was actually going to start bringing him to the aerial hoop class because I started teaching a kids class for age 5 to 9. And the first session that I put on, because my instructor Jenna teaches the other one, then I put that on the first class, and then a week later we're in lockdown, back in lockdown. So
did it change?
I haven't had a chance to take him yet.
A big part of your philosophy and psychology, having a child, did it do anything to you, or have you just literally just lived on since?
It made me a better person. It made me more hardworking. It made me more determined. It made me appreciate stuff more. It made me not go out as much, obviously, but for that reason I was able to focus more and not spend all my money,
like you say, utilise your time.
Utilise your time, appreciate your time. Obviously you enjoy being a parent. Sometimes you don't, sometimes you're too tired, sometimes you just want to die, you're so tired. But then when you can have the little escape for a couple of hours to go and train or to go and teach, because I enjoy my job,
it makes it more
yeah, you're still a human being at the end of the day. It's not all about the kids. You still, what happens when you grow up?
Me and James from Gym Fit were talking about this, and a lot of my friends, when they found they were getting a child,
from Asda,
I'm just dropping it off. Can't believe it. They come in all different shapes and sizes. But they found out they were going to be a parent.
Yeah,
they decided to just fob off all their passions, just cancel it all because the kid's going to consume their life. And meeting them people and then talking to them after, they always hold this like hostility, like anger and like feeling towards it. And it's like, we didn't need to do that. Like one particular friend, he was doing really well in the music scene. He was like playing at Rock City, headlining shows, doing awesome, and just gave up music. He's like, no, I'm having a kid now. I need to settle down and do this. But my argument point was, listen, like your child wants to see his dad being passionate, enjoying life and thriving, and that kid's going to look up towards their mum or dad and go, I want to do that. Maybe not even the music thing, but I just want to be passionate. I just want to do something that I enjoy. Yeah. Because mummy loves it so much. Do you know what I mean? So that seems like a better ideology to add to your life than, I'll just stop it all then.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you do less of it. Obviously, you do less of what you do because you don't have time, but you don't get rid of it because you're going to be tired and you're going to be... Sometimes you're going to be miserable as a parent to a young baby anyway, because you are tired. Probably more for women than men.
You weren't there last night, man. You weren't there.
Oh, look at you sleeping so peacefully.
Yeah. That is. I did feel Chris's like breathing down my neck, like, wake up.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's you have to work together, don't you? But yeah, you can't just lose yourself. What's the point?
Trust me, I ain't doing that. It's made me more determined, if anything. It's made me really want to like push myself the best I can do, like grow the business, do my football. I've decided to get operated on and have the knee done just because, like I said, I want to be with Ella out on the park doing all the cool things and just not stopping. It doesn't make any sense to stop.
Yeah.
So is that where you're at now? Are you really determined with the pole fitness after Bojo's give us a give us the all clear? Have you got like forward thinking steps of what next? Are you growing the business or are you happy where you are with the business?
I mean, like obviously I was at Gym Fit before for like nearly 6 years.
Yeah, okay, you dropped a penny with me when you told me you were at Pulse. I was like, Pulse, that's bloody old, isn't it?
Before it was Gym Fit. I remember James was like probably about 4 or 5 months old. And I had a phone call saying, oh, just to let you know, there's new owners at the Pulse. I'm like, what? So I went in to meet Gareth and Di and James. And I remember walking in with James in the car seat, like he was tiny then. It's hard to imagine now, but... and they're like, oh yeah, so you do pole classes, and when do you do them? And I'm like, yeah, well, we'll do them Tuesday, Wednesday night in this room. Like, that's it. Like, this is really weird. Like, because none of us knew that it was being taken over. Was it not
suspecting at all? Did you have no idea?
No, because I was only there twice a week, and I just went in, hey up, you're right, did my thing.
Yeah, I get you.
I just paid the week before as well for the rent up front, and then the week after it's like, oh yeah, like obviously new owners need to, like, oh yeah, you need to pay your rent. I'm like, well, I paid it last week, and I've got the receipt, and it had gone into
his account.
Yeah.
Cheeky boy, are you out there?
Naughty,
with your cocktail on a beach.
So yeah, but yeah, obviously then the gym started to get much better, less drippy.
Oh god, that was the big one, wasn't it?
It's great, isn't it? It's fucking great. Love it.
They've done such a decent job down there.
But yeah, so obviously I opened my own studio. I had a little cry when I said that I was leaving Gym Fit because like this is so great.
How long? You've been there 6 years?
I've been there not far off 6 years, when I handed my notice in like February because I was due to open the studio in April.
Were you always booked out at your classes at Gym Fit?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing now with this pandemic that I'm in the studio because it's a much bigger space. Obviously, we're restricted on numbers. We have to keep it safe for people. It's better because had I have been there in that smaller room, I would have been much more restricted on.
Did you have any
numbers.
Men in your? Have you had any men in sessions?
We've had a couple of guys come in. To be honest, guys tend not to last.
Really?
Not really.
Do you have any theories on why men don't really approach it and take it on as a sport or anything?
I mean, they do. There's quite a few sort of famous pole guys out there.
I'm guessing if you were doing a pie chart,
Yeah.
There'd be a tiny little slice of the chart, males.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I know.
I don't know.
I know
like,
several male studio owners and several very successful pole dancers who've competed and stuff. It is changing, but you know, like people around Ripley, people are quite old fashioned.
Yeah, small
around
town
here. Like, oh, I'm not
mentalities.
doing for that. It's for girls.
Yeah.
And I do like it when a male says to me, "Ah, yeah, it's easy, that is." I'm like,
Do you think it...
well then, would you like to come down?
Would it be a beneficiary to a male to go in? Like, if, say, I want to work on my strength, if I want to work on my core, my stretching, would pole fitness be a great thing to add into my regime?
Yeah, it'd be great for anyone. Like,
Really?
The thing is, you can go to the gym and you can do a weight and it will work a certain area.
Yeah.
You know, a certain muscle group or whatever.
I'm guessing there's muscles you didn't know you had when you're doing pole fitness.
Well, I mean, like grip strength. What exercise? There isn't like an exercise that you go, right, I want to work on my grip strength today. You don't really do that. Obviously, you do that and it naturally
I don't know about that.
builds up. But you know, when you're lifting your own body weight, you're having to use everything. So if you're gripping the pole with your legs, you're working your legs.
Do you know where you hold, like, it's on Dancing in the Rain, and he holds the pole that way, and his whole body's like pointing out.
A human flag.
Oh man, that's the one I want to do. I know I won't be able to.
That's
for
the
a
one
long
blokes
time, but
always want to do.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
I think it is because I've seen it in that film, and I like La La Land. Really like that. I've seen it in that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
right, I'd impress the girls with that move. But how do you think if I came to a session, how would I be received though? Because do you have any males in your sessions yet?
No, do you know what? We've had one guy since we reopened, and he didn't stay for that long. I think he'd got some stuff going on in his own life, and you know he couldn't continue for whatever reason. But I don't know. I think a little bit. Like it works both ways. Like a meathead gym, like the Porks used to be meathead gym.
Fucking hell, did it?
Just going back to that again, like. And for a woman, that's quite
intimidating.
Yeah. And then I think it's the same. This is just the opposite way round. You know, some often men don't want to be seen as being girly or doing something like gay.
But you just pride yourself on inclusivity is the word I was looking for.
Yeah, inclusivity. Absolutely. Yeah.
So
anybody's welcome.
Somebody came, you wouldn't be like, "Hey, a man's here we go." It'd just be, "Oh, cool. Here's what we do."
Yeah.
You're a beginner. You're starting here. See what you can do.
Yeah. I mean, the studio is a little bit girly, I suppose. It's not like we've got a neon sign that says "Girl Power" on it just because it's pretty and it's pink. I like shiny things.
Hello.
Beautiful.
I can see you rocking one of these.
Definitely. Love a bit of tie-dye. Yeah, we anybody's welcome in our studio. Absolutely anybody. The only time male wouldn't be welcomed is if I thought they were being a perv.
Yeah.
But the reality.
Have you had that happen? Is anything?
No. It's never happened. The reality is, like. You go, it's not sexy.
No.
It's not.
I'm guessing a lot of males maybe watching this have got in their head like a certain image of what it is in a pole class, and they're all lezzed off, hitting each other with pillows.
So basically, common things that you might hear in a pole class are point your vagina to the ceiling. Oh fuck, that hurt. Can you pass me my foot?
Yeah, not turning me on, love.
No. I mean, obviously we do like a heels choreo class, which is like more the sexy side of pole, but that takes a lot of concentration to learn choreo and to teach it as well. So you're so busy worrying about what you're doing, you're not looking at what anybody else is doing. You ain't got time, or you're too busy rubbing your arm from where it's a bit burny, and you've probably got a bruise or 5.
So, what's like? Give me some ideas of like really hard things to do in pole. Like, what do you start on? Is it like holding it and feeling the pole, experiencing the movement?
Yeah. So
when do you get to going upside down on your head?
There's no clear answer for that.
Okay.
Because that depends on your natural ability, how often you train. Like, if you go once a week, you're going to have slower progress. If you go 4 times a week, you're going to be
up there.
Like, up there, literally.
Literally.
So, you might start out doing some pole spins, like basic spins around the pole with 2 hands on, learning to climb the pole, doing some sort of gentle spin pole stuff, sitting on the pole, so like where you sit and your legs are crossed over, that's a pinchy one.
That's a pinchy one.
Yeah, so you're talking, like if you're talking about going upside down, I've had some people that are able to invert after a couple of weeks because maybe they've done gymnastics or weight training or something. But it's not something that you would teach after 2 weeks because it's not safe. We know a lot more about pole training and education now. And there's a lot of stuff you need to learn and understand and get your body spatial awareness before you go doing stuff upside down and having an accident.
Have you injured yourself? Have you ever come off really in bad pain? What's the worst?
Dislocated my knee.
Oh, yeah, that got me.
Yeah.
What doing? Were you spinning around?
It was just a spin. It was when I was a student still, before I started teaching, and my kneecap ended up there.
Mate.
And I just fell to the floor.
Yeah. Gas and air?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, paramedics came. The
paramedics.
the nice people came out.
Yeah. I like them. Did they come out in green?
They come out in green. They gave me some laughing gas. And they just popped it back in. So I had a couple of weeks off and then I was back in.
It didn't put you off doing it though?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Were you still doing your laughing at that moment, or was that a bit more, oh no, this hurts now?
It was like extreme pins and needles.
Okay.
That's all I can describe it as. Weird.
So you've got your kids, you've got your pole.
Yep.
Is this what takes up your life now? Is that, other than COVID?
Yeah.
Other than sitting at home and watching Friends?
Sitting at home and waiting for that floppy-haired wazzer to come on telly and tell us what we can't do today.
But we are trying. I swear to God, we are trying. Not hard enough.
If we could just toot the bugle.
No.
What, Bojo? What did you just say? What?
You really do. Like, it just seems a mess at the minute. And what has it done for your business? Have you struggled within these times? Have you, like everyone, but have you really like panicked? What was your attitude when you heard? I've never heard of a lockdown. I didn't know what was coming.
So we've learned all these new words.
I can't go to work now.
It's fascinating. In the beginning, it's fascinating. Like, we've learned furlough and lockdown and social distancing, all things we'd never really
comprehend,
heard
consider.
Of before. Yeah, it's just completely alien to you. So it was really, obviously, it was really crap for everyone.
Yeah, thinking of that, like if you'd have tried to explain that to me at January before anything happened, you're like, what? Everything shuts down. Everything.
Like, nah. Don't
Why are you lying?
Don't be silly.
Yeah.
So it was terrible timing because obviously, like, 3rd week in March, pubs and gyms got shut down, and that was like a week and a half before I was getting the lease and the keys for my studio, what I had to do up. And I'd got a big deposit to pay. I'd got all sorts to pay out, as well as all the cost of putting the equipment and the floor and the poles and everything else. So then they started to talk about funding and helping people out and stuff. Anyway, the night, that Friday night at 5 o'clock, when they announced that pubs and gyms were going to be closing the following day, I was actually sat in my local pub having a meal with my family, and I saw the landlord's face and I was like, what's going on? And he told me, I was like, nearly bought up my fish and chips.
Yeah.
popped round to see my friend's house to drop her a bottle of gin off for my birthday. I was like, bawling.
Really?
Yeah, I was just like, oh shit, what are we going to do? I've got this building to pay for and I've got no income. So that night I got a job at the co-op. So I worked at the co-op for
Down in Ripley?
No, in Belper.
Oh, Belper
at
Co-op.
Openwood Gate, yeah. One of the team leaders from Ripley, actually. Jake, he's signed. Yeah, so yeah, I worked there. That was random.
Are you still doing that?
No.
No.
The co-op life is not for me.
Really?
No disrespect to the co-op.
Yeah.
But
similar to...
I like sparkly things. Yeah.
I don't like being treated as a number. I think
Yeah.
I'm just somebody's number and filling somebody's pocket, and that's all I can envision when I'm there. Especially like when I was at Thornton's, even more so, because I have to break down things in my head and I have to go that step further. So I'm like, so what am I doing here? Right, I'm putting chocolates into boxes. What's that doing? Giving out non-nutrition to the world. What's that doing? Killing an obese... Do you know what I mean? I break it down to that point. I'm like, what is the point?
Yeah, but when you're in that mind frame, you've got nothing else to think about, like a factory type of...
It just nullifies people. They get into
you have to switch your brain off.
Yeah.
My other half works at Toyota and he's making cars all day, every day. And like he's been there for 13 years. He's learned to do that. And that's scary. So
I just love that you've gone and found what you wanted and you've taken it on. And if there is young people watching this, I think they'd be very inspired to hear that story and how it comes together.
cool.
You know, it's a great thing, and that's what we're talking about at the start of the podcast. Like, what attributes it takes, and like growing confidence and growing all these skills that you've explained through the journey.
Well, it's like if you've got a problem, what do? You have to go and sort it out. Like I'd gone, oh my God, I've got no business, I've got no income. Go and get a job.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and complain that you've got no money. Like I was told 3 times that I couldn't get any support for the small business grant thingy. That they were handing out like 10 grand to all these properties, and they told me that I couldn't get it because you had to be in there by the 11th of March. And I only started on the 1st of April, but I'd signed for it in early Feb.
Yeah.
So, but I was like, no, fuck off.
Same thing for this.
Right. So, I'm going to keep pestering you. So I got told no 3 times by people at the council. And that was, they're doing their job. They have their paperwork. They're like, no, you can't have it because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
That's what they're told from the government. That's okay. But I emailed the MP. I spoke to one of the councillors. I kept emailing I was sending the proof, the signed copies of my lease, absolutely everything. And in the end, I did get it.
Oh, that's it. That is another bit of wisdom. Just keep going. Just
keep going.
Pushing.
No, like if you know something isn't right, sort it out.
Make it happen. I love doers. I really love meeting on this podcast. It's always somebody that's a doer and is like a go-getter, because I saw even a stat the other day, but in 2018, in men and women, like the leading cause of death, it wasn't like cancer, it wasn't heart, it was suicide. So I'm very passionate on mental health and how people can start to learn to conduct themselves now, because it just, them sort of statistics do sit you in your place, don't they? You go, oh, people are really struggling. You see a face value of people so much of the time. You get a bit of an idea, but you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So hearing somebody like you, it inspires me, and I hope you inspire others, because this is what we need in the world. We need these traits. We need these people coming forward and going, what you need to do. Do you know what I mean? And you're inspiring. I think there's an element of like, just do it. Yeah.
That's not an advert.
No, it's a Homer Simpson philosophy, that is. I had it on a poster when I was about 10. Just do it.
Just do it. Like, I don't know. Like, a lot of people, and very wisely so, not everyone can be the same. A lot of people will maybe sit down and think about something a little bit more. I'm not that person. I'm just like, okay, let's do this. Next thing. And then next, and then, I'm going to try this now. Like, you doing what? Yeah, why not? Fuck it.
But if you, like you say, if you have a problem and then you just sit on it and it's a bit painful, but you're trying to work it out so much and it ruminates, and then you let it like distill in you, that's where it becomes dangerous.
You're stuck in the mud.
But if you go, here's a problem, here's a solution, or even if it's, I don't know the solution, but there's going to be a solution. As long as you can find it, you have the answers are always accessible. There's not one single answer.
I mean, with this lockdown thing, sorry, I keep talking about it. It's boring, isn't it? But
it's very real and relevant.
It is, and it affects. Right, so I've had some mental health problems, sort of like 7 or 8 years ago. Came out of it. You know, I decided that we got married and we decided we want to try for a baby, and I just sorted myself out. Like you can do it to a degree, but when you're forced into a situation like this, so I was okay. I was like, right, I'm going to start teaching online. I'm going to like give my girls half price membership when we come back in December for like staying with us and stuff. You know, just like what can I do to like keep everyone together, keep everyone motivated. So we started doing these online challenges and whatever. But then last Wednesday, I woke up with this awful dread. And I've had that feeling before, and I know what happens, like, if I don't sort it out.
Yeah, if you just sit with it.
And I felt awful, like, because you just feel like I'm stuck in the house, I'm doing the same thing. I've taught a couple of online classes that week. Like, I've been out the house twice to do my thing, but it's not the same as having humans. And I like humans.
Yeah.
So
they okay.
Yeah, they okay. So yeah, I felt really, really bad.
I suppose there's
really bad.
A beautiful balance within it, isn't there? Because I was like on this way of thinking of, don't worry, when problems come, like if I just sit and wait for the storm to pass, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
But if you just sit, the storm doesn't actually pass. So the balance in there is, no, in that moment, you've got to fight your way out of it.
Yeah.
You've got to use your inner strength in that moment and not just be so flowing.
And that's like, it's really nice when people say, like, you know, you're strong and inspiring and, you know, that's really nice to hear. And that's cool. If I can help somebody and inspire them to do something, that's awesome. That's absolutely great, and it's lovely to hear. But everybody has down days. Everybody has days where they feel like crap or they're stressed. You don't necessarily feel crap about yourself, but it's like, you know, you might feel a little bit of despair. It happens. Like, it happens to everybody, and it's okay.
But I suppose that's the motivating thing you're saying now, is being able to have them days. You're not, no one's a perfect form. No. Nobody just goes through life on the plain and easy. Yeah. We all have moments of like despair. Yeah. So being comfortable with that, knowing it happens and exists, and being able to talk to people about that, that's enough for me. So, Karrie, I don't want to keep you all day, because I know, have you got to pick your kids up at some point? Yeah. I knew that was, I'm going to have to learn these things, because I've got my own little baby now, but what time school finishes, I forgot all that nonsense.
Yeah, well, all different times because of COVID. It's crazy.
Where can people find you? What's next for you? Just give a little bit of an insight on that, and then I shall let you depart.
Okay, so we've got the studio at Ripley. It's on Pease Hill. We do pole and aerial hoop, aerial yoga, and we help people that are training for competitions as well. And then also in Belper, when that's back open at the community centre, we run pole classes there, and we run pole classes at the fish pond at Matlock Bath.
All over the shop.
So yeah,
is that a pub in it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they've got a ballroom upstairs. Like,
sounds like a right night.
Yeah, go to
music,
pole,
get bladdered, get pole.
Go to pole, get a drink after. So yeah, just, you know, if you've been thinking about just do it.
That's what I'm going to take away from this.
Just do it.
I have little snippets of these podcasts, and I'm getting the just do it clip together. Karrie, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Again, you've been a part of the Old Farm Bus, Back of the Bus Sessions oh no, he's ruined the whole, we've got to start again. Back of the Bus Sessions podcast, probably just me nan now, or maybe a couple of your followers, hopefully. Hey up guys, thank you for being here, really appreciate it. One love, be nice to one another, peace.